Hello, everyone. How about some clapping for the start of the stream? Oh, got me again. Always one little thing I don't check. How about now? That's much better. Hello, 21 days till Earth, or Printopia as they call it now. That is very true. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it this year, which makes me sad. But, you know, being a grown-up's hard sometimes. So the first thing we have to do today is clean out some of the mess that I have generated over the last week. So we got to get to that. And I do have some somewhat sad news for some of you. I do not have a co-host today. We should do the oh, there's one. Yeah, we should. Oh. So no co-host today. She is off working with the kids, doing her new job thing. So obviously it's more important than her old job here at the basement, but we'll get by. Mickey is here. Mickey Sanford, hello. She gifted a membership and she's now a member, so thank you for that. I was talking with her over email yesterday about her chameleon build. So good to have her here. Everyone else. Mike, he's gonna be here for a little while, but he's our lead moderator. He's gonna be gone for a while today, so it's well, we're gonna have to get by. We'll do what we can. It's gonna be like the old days. Like the old days. Jerry's here. Thomas Maker Viking, Derek, Steve Clark, Sergio. All the folks are rolling in. So thanks for coming. So first, let's get some stuff picked up real quick. I've been doing all kinds of little projects, but not completing anything, it seems like. But last time for the Muldex build, which we will be continuing today, we did not have certain parts for the build, but we now have those. So we can continue. Last time we were working on that's what these are right here. So, and I'm going to show you these magnet bar things because I think they're really cool. I'll show you those here in a second. In fact, let's go ahead and flip over to this so I can show you.
For the Bougie Coffee Fund.
Andrew Rogers always coming in with support for us. Thank you very much, Andrew, for the $30. It will go to good use. In fact, I was just saying yesterday that we need to get some more coffee so we don't run out, because that would be chaos, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together. Yes. It's been a long time since we've added any mods, so there you go. Thank you for that. So the chat will be less monitored today than it usually is, so if I miss it, feel free to repeat it. It does not offend me at all. It just helps me keep track of things. And there will be a few folks in chat here helping to moderate. I think I'm pretty good. I'm gonna put a few things away because if I don't, I still get the pineapple here, which is still adorable. I need to find a good spot for that. Got some rubber seals that I need to deal with. I moved most of the hardware, at least the small hardware, into my organization bin. So I'm just kind of pulling out of there. That makes it a little easier to find stuff. Rule with an iron fist. It goes under the sea. Somebody said on the comments of that, I put out last week's video was just a time lapse of me building and printing this thing. And somebody in the comments said, pineapple looks more like a barrel. And, you know, I don't disagree. It kind of does look like a barrel. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know, a barrel would make a pretty good house under the sea, too. So, win-win. I've got so much stuff on the awesome shelf. Maybe maybe it's time for Clacky Skull to get retired. It's been here a couple of years. We'll make it clack one more time for the road. I need a bigger shelf of awesome. I still got my box. I bought more of those really inexpensive LED shop lights. You can get like 10 of them for like $70. I bought more of those, and I did hang a few because I lost a couple of lights, but you know, the box is still there because I didn't clean it up. And now I think we're pretty much all set. Rod Artist Makes is here. Low. One more time before I put it on the other shelf that you guys can't see, because I do like it. There we go. Those are always fun. Okay. Now I think we can start moving forward now that we've cleaned up. Well, this shelf's pretty full too. So, what are you going to do? Okay. Here's our frame. Now, I've only done a couple of things since we last were together. Let's talk about all of those real quick. John is here. Good morning. Good morning. So we got the back plate started. I'll just show you in this camera. It's big enough. We got the back plate started. This is where all the electronics get bolted to, all that good stuff. And then there's a cover that goes on the back of that. But anyway, I got that on there because I didn't know if it was going to interfere with some of the Z parts that we were installing. So I went ahead and put that on there. I did finish that up. It was just a couple of brackets. It does have 2 brackets on it here. Those are for the mechanical type of filament sensor that Duet has. They're very expensive. I do have one, but not for both. I don't know that I'm going to mess with that, but I went ahead and put the part on because I had the printed parts. So if we want it down the road, we can do that. Last time when we were together, we've got all 3 of the Z rails on. They probably should be lined up a bit. We might have to look at that. I don't know. How straight do they look? Not too bad, I don't think. It's on a belt. It'll be fine. And then we have the parts that actually hold the bed on. The castle print is really cool. So this part is ingenious. So one of the parts we didn't have last time was this magnet, and they are crazy. It's a 1/2 inch by 3/8 magnet, and they are crazy strong. So I had to get some of these from eBay. So I got those, and they go in the bottom of these parts that hold the bed on. So it's just a printed part, but there's a magnet in the bottom there, and then there's some 5mm rods that you press in from the side that holds the magnet in place. And then on top of that, there's a steel ball that sets on those 2 rods that screws the bed down, so the bed can move to level. So that's a pretty ingenious way of doing things. I really like that. But so I did build 3 of these because I couldn't wait. I had to press those in there. I just wanted to see it happen. So now the task is put these on the rails. Then we can line the belts up, line the motor with the new gears. That was the other part we didn't have, was a 9mm, 8mm shaft gear. Line those up with the gears, get the belts on, set the bed on there, and that's probably enough for one day. But I would, like, ultimate goal, lofty stretch goal here for today, get all of that done. All of Z is working, and the bottom plate for Z is on. So we should be able to show some pretty good progress here today. There we go. I'll just zoom in on the camera whenever we start working on something specific. I do need to pull up all of the PDF file so I can see what we're working on. Linked, if you don't know what this build is, it is the Muldex, John Mulac's IDEX build, IDEX being dual independent extruders. There is a link to the build files, the GitHub, all that good stuff in the description of this stream. And I need to go get my big bucket of parts. And we're working on Z. All right. What else is up? Do not put your fingers in between them. Absolutely. Those things will snap you. Oh, castle print. I need to print from myself. Yes. That file, the best place to get that file is Printables, because someone has shrunk it down because it's huge. I think it was originally printed on like a 400 millimeter square. It's a very large model originally, but someone on Printables has shrunk it down so that you can print it, and the resolution is still pretty good. And there is the link to that castle. What am I planning for MCU? So I had a Duet to Ethernet board that I swapped Mitch 3D for a computer a long time ago. So I'm going to use that. And then Carl Brown over at NAC 3D, he had a DueX board that he wasn't using to expand that Duet. So we're going to be using that. So Duet is what John used back in 2001 to do all this stuff. That was one of the boards that had like the most inputs that you could get for a long time. So we're going to start there, but I really would like to move to one of the Big Tree Tech boards, so it was all in one, a little more affordable for folks. So we'll start with RepRap, and then we'll work to another one if we have to. Chopped part of the base to make the castle bigger. Right, I think it's the height that's the problem. It's huge. We will not be at 3D Printopia this year, unfortunately. Sorry to say. So hopefully you have a good time there, Kyle. Been bit by neodymium magnets. I'll bet it's not fun. Tom Lama is here. Tom said this morning on Twitter that he was still not having any fun with his shoulder. So Tom, we are here for you. Let's have a conversation. Give you something to watch. I know we're going to get this same question over and over. The wife could not be here to co-host today. She is at her school working with the kids. So it's just us. Yep, on the Railcore, great combination. RepRap firmware, I think, is underrated, and it always has been. I really like it. It's all in one, and you get Wi-Fi if you get the right board. The boards are expensive. That's always been the problem. But it's, I really enjoy it. I like RepRap. But there's nothing wrong with Clipper, or, all of them work. So let's see what kind of parts we need here. I think all I really need some belt eventually. Where's the 9mm belt? Jeez. It came just a little unraveled, I would say. So there's some of it. Where's the other? I'll bet you it's in that box. I think we're good here. I don't think I need any of this today. I think this is all extruder stuff. Here it is. This is the other motor. And then here are the steel balls. There are some keepers, but we're not quite there yet. Like some belt keepers, they're down in there somewhere. So we'll just start here. Tub O printer bits. I got quite a few of those tubs nowadays. You bet. Anything I can do. Yeah, I've never really had an issue with a rep board that I didn't cause myself. Now I have had a few go-arounds with plugging things in incorrectly, and that really hurts when you ruin one of your rep boards. Or your duet boards, rather. All right. Let's see, what's a good image of this assembled? Really don't need that. And remember, we're just kind of working off of images on PDF files, right? There's really no directions here. So some of it is up to interpretation. So let's just start in this corner over here. Now, we got to start thinking about how wires and all that stuff are going to run as well, now that we have motors and things. Parts add up. You start getting spare parts, then you have parts everywhere. We're all working for the weekend. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I need one more monitor. I only have 3. I should have 4. So we're gonna be kind of working in that area. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see, but the goal is to get the Z motor down here, and then we'll line that plastic part up with this linear rail. That's what we're working on right now. So, how has everyone been? Hopefully everything is going well for most of you. Did anyone do anything super awesome this week? I really didn't do, I wouldn't say I did anything super awesome. Mostly just work. But it was a short week, but short weeks always seem like they are the longest week. One thing about the LDO aluminum extrusions, they have really tight tolerance. Oh, it's not going to work that way. So we need one left, one right. Was I smart enough to do that? I was. But no, that goes the wires on that one go the wrong way. I would think we would want them both pointed towards the back of the machine, yeah? This is the middle one. Oh, okay. Maybe I was smart enough to do that. So that one would go, yes, okay. That's the one with the cage around it is the middle motor. Been a difficult week, but it's looking up. Well, that's good to hear. Just one big monitor. Have watched every movie ever made. I wonder. So what I'm thinking right now, it's like, where does it make sense that this belt lines up? So you got your carriage there. you'd have a belt on the outside of that. So this is definitely going to have to go like all the way in, like this way to that side of the extrusion, or it's not going to line up right. That means your linear rail, it won't be able to extend past this extrusion at all, or it will clip that printed part. So we're going to have to slide that rail up just a bit. I need like some sort of good printed part to line a rail up on a 2040. I might have to make one of my own. So if I move it all the way up like that way I can push this all the way in and the belt will line up. So it should be good. Lord of the Rings, man. You know, the wife is into all those types of movies and stuff, but I have watched them, and we watched the extended edition. Man, is it long. It's almost like painful long. Made progress on the Sandpritch's tiny trike. Those are going to be really interesting to see, that's for sure. Oh no. That stinks that it won't connect to your laptop. Maybe something happening with the serial chip. That's a bummer. Yesterday. Gotcha. Modify one of the guides for the Voron kits. That's what I'm thinking, but you know, so it like there's a rail on the back of this, but it's just in one slot. So I'll have to make like, I'm thinking we'll make one that goes in the side slot that lines up this one. Something like just to go up against, you know, like would set on the side of the rail where it needed to be. That way you could put it in this slot and then push the rail towards it and kind of make a couple of them or whatever. And then you could slide it up and down to get that rail straight. So I'm thinking we need to make something like that. There's a couple of things I need to make today. 4 hours each. What size rails? These are 9s? No, 12s. 12s. Yes, absolutely. It can use input shaping. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Stephen, for that. I'll have to go look. I'm sure there was one. I've just never seen one. There's a new Lord of the Rings? Wow. Hello, John, by the way. Okay, back to what I was doing. That's the only problem with me reading chat without my co-host being here. I get really distracted and I don't get anything built. But in all honesty, when she is here, I get really distracted and don't get much built. So that looks good. All right, let's go with this. Okay, so the motor's on. Now let's make sure we're going to use the correct hardware and everything for our bed guide. That looks good to me. I think all three of these are the same, maybe. No, there's a left and a right. And the one for the back is not angled, so that makes sense. Let's see what hardware we got. I'm getting old. I can't see anything. 27. What is a 27? 27 is... Oh, it's got set screws so that you can adjust slope if you have to on the Z holder. So that's cool. And what's a 3? 3 is a 16. M3 by 16 is what we're looking for. All right. Actually, maybe we want to put those set screws in case we need them before we put the part on. That might be much easier. Meh. $27. M3 by 10 millimeter. I think I saw those in this box. Yes. Squirrel. Ooh, those are tiny. And I'm guessing those go in with square nuts, maybe? Yeah. Set screw is kind of a bad thing. You're right. Need more tuna salad stuff. Awesome. Awesome. Whatever it takes to keep you happy, Tom, you do it. So I guess I can show you. So these are the holders that go on those linear rails. They have a set screw in the side that would sandwich up against that cart, that linear rail cart, so that you could adjust it a little bit, tweak it top and bottom if you had to. You know, it would be best to, line the rail up correctly so it operated correctly. But if you had just a little bit extra or something you needed to adjust, it might not be a bad idea. We'll put them on. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the green has turned out really well against all the black. I'm really enjoying the green, so that's pretty awesome. But you don't want grubs either. What's the machine you're building and what does it do? So we've been building this for a couple of streams now. So this is called the Muldex. It's created by John Mulac. It's a kind of a community project. I've been meaning to build it for many years, but it is a fairly large format 3D printer. It's Core XY, and it has two extruders, independent extruders. So they call it an IDEX machine. So it will have two complete tool heads that are independent of one another on different belt paths that it can move around and print different stuff. So I've never done a true IDEX machine build, so I wanted to do one of these. It's been a long road, but we're starting to get things together, I think. And I guess I should really be more obvious on these streams, but it is in fact a 3D printer. It's not called Chris's House of 3D Printing. So I guess we could be doing anything in this basement, right? Okay, set screws are in. These are held on by M3. We're just putting these on the cart. I know you can't see the cart, but it's a linear rail cart. What, didn't they like make all of those in New Zealand or whatever? So they're gonna make all the new ones in New Zealand? You know what? There might be a belt holder can't just screw into the plastic, can it? Hope not. What is it? It's a it's an M3 by 10. Let's be smart and fit one of the belt holders before we put it on there. That's not it. Well, because the belt goes. Oh, yeah. There's two pieces. I remember seeing that now. So it goes like this. Can't even afford to pay attention. The hobby can get spendy, that's for sure. Those look like button head screws to me. At least in the picture. I guess it really doesn't matter that much. Yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully it's a fun. The build is good. It's just there's a lot. It's a huge build, but it's just a lot to it. Doing 2 extruders. Yeah, there has to be some sort of. Oh! I bet you anything. Those are supposed to be heat inserts. Mm-hmm. 32. See? Good thing I didn't put it together. So we need to set a couple of inserts. No problem. A zombie movie, that's pretty epic. That would be sweet. Heat inserts. I get lost in chat. Yes. And those are 5/7s. Those might actually be better, but oh. These are a little short. I've been buying these inserts from CNC Kitchen. And they're really nice. I like the inserts. But John calls for the really short ones, and they are just really, really short. And some of the part, I've got some longer ones, and they're just a little longer. Some of the parts look like it would be a good idea to use a little longer one. But then I'm like, well, I don't want to go against the build in case there was a reason. But I might use some of these longer ones. Dead Alive. I'll have to remember that. Hey, James. She is doing a school thing today. So she is not here. So we have to dredge on without her. Awesome. I'm glad that helped. I tried to use your picture and put the numbers on there. It wasn't as easy as I'd hoped it was going to be, but hopefully that helps you with your build. Mickey is working on the chameleon, so that can be a challenging build. So hopefully I was able to help some. Just touch it a little with your thumb. It's not that hot. It's only 800 degrees. It's fine. It does look. It looks very play school. Those uh, Hacko soldering irons. They're really good though. I mean, for the money, it's a really nice soldering iron, and it's kind of my dedicated insert iron because I use the Weller for all the small stuff. So this one always has one of those insert tips on it. But you're right. The roundiness of it really looks play school. The chameleon is a challenge. I did see that they were going to put out everything completely open source now, so that's awesome. We can start seeing people mess with the firmware and stuff. Those are always interesting to see. Uh-huh. There we go. Chris, I got a used Prusa Mark III, an AVR USB programmer, and a Pi 02. Do you think it's worth it to put Clipper on it, considering it's printing really good, although slow? I don't know that I'd waste my time. Personally, I would just use it as is. The Mark III has a, I don't want to call it a bug, but they did something with the bootloader that makes it really hard to deal with. You can get around it, but you have to load a different style bootloader on it, and it can be kind of tricky. So that would allow you to use Clipper, but I don't think I would mess with it. If I didn't need an extra printer, maybe I'd tear it apart and put Clipper on it and do all those things. Like if I just had an extra one that I wasn't going to use. But they print so well and they're so reliable. I personally wouldn't mess with putting Clipper on it, but it could be a fun project. So it's kind of up to you. I really don't have a definitive answer on it, but I've had requests many times to put Clipper on a Mark III, and I've never done it. But so it is something that people want to do for sure. So if you want to play around, go for it. But I hate to risk disrupting a decent machine if I don't have to. Made of steel. I'm just quick. I only touch it for a second. $16 seems a little long for this cart. Unless the holes aren't very clear. Yeah, they just have They just have really fine threads, so we just got to make sure we're real careful and get it in there straight. I did talk to my dad yesterday. Dad's birthday was yesterday. He is 75. 3/4 of a century. And he said, I said, "Happy birthday, Dad." And he said, "Thank you. I really don't need the reminder, but thank you anyway." Like, sounds good. No. No, it's good. It's always good to talk to him. He's always working on something. If you've ever met my dad, it's pretty obvious where I get all of this building and working on things from. There we go. Yeah, those are really finely threaded. You don't want to cross thread your linear rail cart. That would turn out bad down the road. All right. It works. Guess we get that box out of the way if you actually are looking at that camera. Nice. Mark IIIs are good machines. I wish I had a Mark III when I started 3D printing. Saved me a lot of pain. Oh, I missed some stuff. Which ache will appear today? It's true. It's true. The pain did teach me quite a bit. That is for sure. Do we want to? First off, this is backed out. I want to back this one out. So it's got kind of an adjuster on the belt up here, so that you can tension that belt if needed, which you need to. But I want to make sure that it's backed out all the way. But I guess we should. These will have to be just a little loose for that to work correctly. I guess we can go ahead and do one belt and then move on to the others. All right, I think that's as far out as we need to go. Let's see. What's this belt gonna look like? Yes, we are going for the initial build. We're going to do RRF, and I agree with you. I think RRF is easier to deal with multiple extruders than Clipper. We'll move to Clipper eventually, I would imagine, but RRF does a pretty good job. This is on one of the uneven floor pieces, and it's driving me crazy. I have to like shim it with a piece of paper or something. Where's the belt going? It's going in there, but it's not going around the pulley. That is going to be kind of a nightmare to thread. I think we need a piece of baling wire. That's what we need. There might be a small one. There it is right there. Actually, that's probably too short. Steve Builds is here. What's up, Steve? There's that. It would be nice. I used to have a set of handheld hole punches. You could punch a really small hole. I wish I still had those. Wonder where they went. Hmm. Cost of building something like this approximately? Uh, from what I've run into, I'm gonna say it costs like 2,500 to get everything. If you go, because he went pretty high end. He went slice engineering, rep wrap, all those parts. About 2,500 bucks, I would guess. I'm not sure what a Voron kit goes for now, but it might be around that much. If you were really good at sourcing, like you were pretty savvy over on AliExpress and all of that, I'm sure you could do much better. But that also takes a lot of time, so factor that in as well, right? Rat rig is at 2,700, so par for the course for a large build, I would guess. This is the hair on the screen. That's funny, Tom. I'll just smash this a little bit more. This part, I could pull the motor off and probably make this much easier, but now I'm just getting crafty with a piece of baling twine to pull the belt through. Why do anything easy when you can do it so much harder? And it's through! And I'm going to use that on every one of these. We're going to pull the belt through all the way. Hopefully I have enough belt. It seems a little short, but shouldn't be that long. Yeah, some of those rat rigs look pretty awesome. You know, and I've talked to those folks about building one. We've just never been able to come together, I guess. Because I talked to them before they released that new design. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know, let me know. I guess I should follow back up with them, huh? My buddy Dave Wilson has one, one of the new ones. I don't know how far he is with building it yet, but so he'll be my source of knowledge for that one. All right. How shall we do this? So the long part has to go on the outside, so we'll come up and over. And it does have a pocket for a little bit of extra belt. So that's good. You don't have to cut it so short. I'll show you what I'm... So in that or in the bed piece there, it has a little pocket there where you can stick the extra belt so that if you don't get it quite right the first time, you can come back. You had bearing clicking on the preset Excel. Front right or front left? You know, on my channel. Huh. No, I haven't noticed any, but I'll listen extra careful next time I'm over there. I can ask them about it too. I wonder what the deal was. I didn't hear anything about that. So, um, and for those of you who don't know, I was part of that beta team, and they, you know, as part of that effort, they didn't say, "Hey, swap this bearing" or anything like that. So, no, I haven't run into that one. All right, I think we about got this one done. Let's say it's this much belt. We don't want to measure it or anything. We just know we need some overlap. And it's been done. The belt has been cut. Comes and goes. Yeah, I'll have to take a listen now. What's the problem with belts? That is definitely a bit too long. But how long by the time you get everything tensioned and everything, right? That's the real question. All right, so this... I think it's still just a little bit long. We're getting into scary territory here. Llama Core is tired. It's been around a while. All right. All right. So if my co-host were here, she'd want to know if anybody is going to go see the new Beetlejuice movie. She's been looking at reviews, which, you know, that's always a bad thing to do. But I guess the reviews aren't so good. But, you know, Beetlejuice, it's part of our childhood. We'll have to go see it anyway. All right, let's see how good we did here. Might be able to tension my way out of that. Nope. It's a little bit long. BLD Designs, hello. Waiting for streaming. Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Yep. Hypermotive Racing. Molbot, awesome. John has some pretty awesome designs. I know I'm going to get this too short. The shorter you get it, the harder it is to put on. All right, see what we can do with this. How did we do? I think that'll work. It has still got too much slack in it, but man, I'm scared to cut it anymore. Might actually. You know what, knowing John, he probably has the actual belt length. We didn't see twisters. I guess it's streaming now too. What does he say the belt length is? Maybe we should try to measure it. 370 is what he calls for. But I'm definitely not pulling it out of the guide to measure it, that's for sure. Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking about next step, Tom. Just pulling that off of there and doing exactly what you said. But I don't want to break it. That is for sure. I don't want to break it. And the T-nuts are going to fall out of it, but we can redo them. It was pretty bad. Yeah, it kind of looked bad. Well, the other one is sitting on top of that linear rail inside the channel. So when I say later, where did this T-nut come from? Remind me, that's where it came from. No. Not like I can just make one at random. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We learn as we go. So are the days of our lives. But at this rate, I don't know that we're ever going to get the build done. We're going to be working on this well into next year. But hey, 220, 221, whatever it takes. I don't think I can stretch it that tight. Hey, baby, it's content. I would love some. Thank you. Coffee would be excellent. No sidekick today. Hey, Joel, what's up? She's off working with the kids. They're doing like a carnival thing or something today, so she's out. She's out there doing that. So I'm holding down the fort as best I know how. All right, now the question is, I don't think there's any way that we can do this without putting it on as a whole unit. And this is exactly why I thought that building Z first might be a good idea. It turns out that was the case. But I'm prepared today. I even bought, since I knew I was spending for myself today, I even bought myself a pre-made sandwich. So I can go longer today because I can just run up and get my sandwich for lunch and we can keep building. So We can go for a while if we need to. Need a banner about the wife. I told her you were all gonna miss her and you were gonna cry, and then I'd have to deal with it. Got to go work with kids, make their lives better and whatnot. What about us? I'm basically still just a kid. I just have a credit card. Don't tell me that doesn't. I was gonna say, don't tell me that doesn't clear that rail, because I know it does. She actually said, "I know, I know." She at least acted like she felt a little bad about it. She does like coming to these. Gas station sandwich, I actually got, it's kind of like a gas station sandwich, but I actually did get it from the grocery store, so it's a somewhat reputable sandwich. I don't know if you all watch Futurama or if you watched it back in the day. I guess they're making them again now, I found out. But every time I hear about gas station sandwich, I always think about the episode where Fry eats the gas station sandwich and then the worms like live in him. He's got like this, there's like a worm king and all of that. Hilarious, but that's what I think about every time I think gas station sandwich now. Still don't think we're ready to call this good yet, though. It's been more of a pain than I thought. Gas station sushi. Egg salad sandwich. I've had a gas station egg salad sandwich before. I'm not going to lie. I've eaten one. That's another level. Aha. I think we got it now. Famous last words. Sounds like a high E on a bass. We're going to call it, we're going to say that that's where it should be. From just another catering service. Living on the edge. That's right. All right. Yeah, there you go. Tweet at her. Tell her that you miss her. Where is she? There we go. We got one Z motor complete. Can you even see it in the camera? Probably not. Where is it? I'll turn it over this way. We got to spin it around anyway. The box is really getting in the way. The back one is going to be probably the most difficult, I would say, but it doesn't have the extra part for the AV idlers, so that might make it a little easier. But let's start from the start, shall we? Gas station fried chicken. Hey, man. Gas station fried chicken, some of that stuff is delicious. All day. I do it all day. Yes, Futurama has always been one of my favorite shows. I'm guessing, I think we can move on to the next one now. What does that back one look like? So it goes to the right of the rail. So let me get you where you can see. You first, me later. So it's going to go right about there. But maybe that rail should also go all the way to the top just to make things consistent. But the back one is actually going to be, and again, I'm just kind of conceptualizing this, right? Like, I'm trying to only do things once, but you know that's never going to be the case. Tuna melt. uh, Preservatives are so good now that nothing will live in it. So we're running about 500 millimeters to the top of that idler on the front. About the same here. So theoretically, if we had all the rails all the way to the idler, which there should be enough clearance for that, then we would be in good shape. So I think that's what we should do. We'll have to go back and, again, line these up a bit after I print a part for that. But let's go ahead and just slide these up while we're doing stuff. What time is it? Is it snack time yet? Oh man, it's way past snack time. We'll just slide that to the top. Buc-ee's. I haven't been to a Buc-ee's in a while. Yeah. Like when I was a kid, like Tom's talking about, you'd open the bread and, half of it would be green. You just eat the good parts. But yeah, that bread lasts forever and it stays soft. Kind of creepy. but tasty. Come on now. I know there's another set in here. I guess I'll worry about it later. That's future Chris's problem. That guy, I swear, he's got the worst life. I dumped so much crap on that guy. Only one. Hey Scott, how are you? Chemically delicious. Technically, it's 300, no, it's 350, 400, 400, technically, but it's IDEX. So you got two extruder bodies eating up your space. So I think print area is like 300, 310. I use the Rhodes Filmmaker set. So it's just the lav mic. They're really expensive, but I bought this one like 5 years ago. I've never had any problems with it. So that's the one I've been using forever. Late nights in the data center. They were always like, I've worked at a couple of data centers over the years, but it seems like they were always swapping out what kind of crazy vending machine they had in there. And one time we had the old school freezer machine where you could get like frozen hamburgers and stuff. And it was just a ice chest with a suction cup arm. So the ice chest door would open and go in there and get you a hamburger and throw it out. Yeah, I really hated working late nights over there. Awesome, John. We'll have to check out your channel. Um, yeah, Steve. It just keeps going. Yeah, and you can get right at 6 hours on a pair of batteries, and I just keep a bunch of rechargeables, and it's always worked for me. You can spend so much money on that stuff. All right, back to work. Road makes good stuff, and you're right. Yeah, buy local, right? And they've got great support as well. Like anytime I've ever had an issue or question with anything I've ever bought from them, they're all over it. Not sponsored by Rhodes, but I would gladly take a sponsorship. So if you're out there, give me a call. There was just a loud crash out in my backyard. Backyard is like over here from behind you. I'm kind of scared to go see what it even is. Because I could just imagine a giant section of tree just fell on something. Put the arms on. Put this down below. Ball-ended wrenches are definitely a necessity on this build, I can tell you that. Except when they roll underneath the printer and you can't get them anymore. Alrighty. Let's just go ahead and stick with the tried and true method that we used last time. Bond husks are the bomb. Sasquatch? Could be. Could be. We will wait. Go look. Man, bear, pig. Let's take a peek. If it's good, I'll bring back a picture. Where's my phone? Yeah, let's see. Hopefully, it's like it wasn't in my yard. I have a fence, so I can't see what other people are doing. Well, I don't see anything obvious. So we're just going to say that it's not my problem and someone else's problem. So carry on. That will be one of their issues. Okay, where were we? Yep. These have to come out. You had a fence, exactly. That's what I always vision, is it's laying there. It's happened before. All right, do I need to pull that to get this back on? No, I don't. All right. We're going to have to first decide, oh, did I just pull that out of there? Son of a... This one might... Ah, that one's much easier, though, than the last one. No problems. Crisis averted. I'm not going to throw a fit about anything today. Swear. Why is it so hard? Chupacabra. That's my favorite one. Will the T-nuts always correctly align? No. I spend all kinds of crazy amounts of time spinning it around, trying to look. You can kind of get a feel for when they grab. If you have to crank on them too much, you know that they aren't grabbing. So yes, I have to go back and spend a lot of time trying to figure out if what grabbed and what didn't. It's kind of a pain, but that is T-nut life. There should be a shirt that says that. All right, what are we going to do here? To make an estimate. So that is as tight as it would ever be. We want to go a little bit tighter than that. Let's start here. I love that. Any Loctite? Not yet. I haven't seen any scenarios where I need Loctite as of yet, but certain parts like those grub screws and stuff on the pulleys is never a bad idea. But I haven't seen anything be called out for Loctite or anything like that. All right, let's see how we did. Pretty good. Hate to say it. We might have got that one the first time. It might be just a little long. Just a little long. Actually, I think it slipped when I was pulling on it. I don't think it's too long. I think we just lost a couple of teeth, which isn't a big deal. But let's reset it one more time. If we haven't done it 3 times, we haven't done it. Try this again. Now let's see how we did. I think we got it. Everything lined up on the pulley or everything? I think we got it. Cool. Um, why can I never find the straight one? The straight one's the one I always use, so of course you can't find that one. Measure a dozen times, cut it 4 or 5 times. And sometimes 3 times. Okay. 2 Z's down, 1 Z to go. 2 Z's enter, 1 Z leaves. Pie time. Let's put this over here just a little. Drink some water. There might be some more coffee up there. Okay. One more. Any work? Yeah, that's not really. You're not gonna be able to see it that way, that's for sure. We'll just do it. You're gonna see the back of this a lot on the main screen, but you'll be able to see at least this part while we're fixing it up. Okay, rinse and repeat. I'm gonna move this rail all the way up. Last place you look. All right. And then this one. Sunny and 70, or 70 and sunny, and it's getting cold there. What are plans? The wife returns. She's gonna be there in at least until 3 or so. We did have plans to maybe go out and get some dinner, but it's very nice here today. It's right around 80 degrees. We're starting to cool off for the season. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how what she's feeling when she gets home. What are you doing, John? It's still it'll be pretty warm here until late September. Is it starting to heat up in Australia, or is it going to take a little while longer? Hopefully that's enough belt. I bought a little extra, but yeah, funny. Anything over 70, absolutely. Plus your humidity up there is probably pretty fierce at times. Not next week, but the week after, I will be in New Hampshire, so kind of close to you, Tom. I have to go there for work, though. It's not a fun trip, just a work trip. Oh, nice. Going to sleep. Wow. There's that. Let's find our arm. should actually be able to just set the, since it just sets on those balls, we should be able to just set the whole bed on there. At least give it a look. Interesting. 1 a.m. at the moment. I cleaned my fish tank yesterday, so there you go. Okay. I'll just sit on there for a second while I make a belt guess. October starts to heat up and February is usually the hottest. All right, let's start here. We have this much belt left. It's good for nothing. All right, I'm gonna have to spin this a little bit on you so that I can at least see the screw heads. Where's my other part? Here it is. I don't want to do that yet. Yeah, without the wife here, it's just me working on 3D printer stuff. How boring. And doing it upside down, apparently. Like that. All right, let's see how we do. It'll be tight. I think I need a couple of notches. We'll start slow. Okay. And you can't see that, but PETG is squeaky. What fish do I have? So, I've had mine up for a long, long time. Right, I've been kind of winding it down, figuring out what I wanted to do. But I had like, at one time I had like it's a freshwater tank, South American cichlids. So I had 8 parrotfish and 2 tinfoil barbs and like a couple of plecostomus and a couple of different catfish. So I had a mix of a little bit of stuff, but it's kind of winding down now. I have 2 parrotfish left, 1 tinfoil barb, and a couple of plecostomus and 1 catfish. So I don't have much in there right now, but I don't know either. I don't know if I want to go through the headache again of getting more fish or just quit altogether, honestly. All right. A little tight. It's actually rubbing that part just a bit. Yeah, the other one kind of does too. I might want to slide that motor out just a little bit. Oh, tell me that T-nut has not grabbed. That's exactly what happened. Rip. See if we can get one more notch out of this. Oh, that's too much. Man. We can work with that. That's pretty darn tight. See if we can get the T-nuts though to behave. Sometimes you can force them back in there, but not all the time. That one's tight. That one is not going to behave. There's always one. Always one. I did find my magnets, Car. I had to get them on eBay. But I guess I did not order them. I ordered some magnets, but I think they were for like the doors or something. Some set of doors. I thought I'd order these, but I didn't. So I had to order them. But they're installed now, so we're good. Not like you can pet them. They're fun to watch. They're calming. Oh man, it's really buried in there. Peanut life. Fancy tail guppies. There's a big market for like in that. There's a lot of people that raise fancy tail guppies. They're pretty cool. Some of them are really. You can spend a lot of money on a guppy. Yes, massive pain. But yep. I've done it so much over the years now. I've kind of got it down to a science. I can knock it out pretty quick, but still a pain, still something you have to do, something that goes on the to-do list and you dread. All right, T-Nuts, now cooperate this time. Ah, it's much nicer now. But not that one. Now this one is the pain. Now it's acting okay. Thank you, T-Nuts, for your cooperation. We appreciate your support. What was that, Bartles and James? The wife is here. Kind of slow at the school carnival. Well, thanks for stopping in. Lift with your back in a sharp twisting motion. That's right. Now we can get started. Now that everyone's here. Everyone has missed you, dear. I've been asked many, many times where you were. Some people cried, but I told them that it would be okay, and you would come back someday. All right, let's slide these motors out in front just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little one. I don't want the belt to hit. Be good right there. She'll be back next time. See? They're calling me boring. Tom's calling me names. There's nobody here watching the kids while I try to build. It's an old school Chris's basement. Just some guy in a basement in a black shirt building stuff. Retro. People are into retro now, right? All right. So all of the Z motors are on. Now let's see if that plate, that cover, actually fits in there. This is 2024. People don't want to watch some guy build stuff anymore. They need razzmatazz. Should be using AI in some fashion. Before my hair started going gray. Yeah. No kidding. This is gonna be loud. Put it in there for now. Didn't hear a thing. Nice. Noise cancellation is awesome. There we go. Make the voices random. We haven't talked about food or nothing. 12:24. We haven't even talked about food yet. I could use some more coffee though. Just saying. I think this just slides on with T-nuts. Our good friend T-nuts. I hope you can put this on while all of this is installed. I think I'm going to have to raise those up. And these are not the easiest things to turn. Those geared motors like that. Ugh. And of course I pulled it out of the tensioner. Oh. That is not what I wanted to do. But I guess now we know how much punishment those will put up with. Not a lot. Fixing stuff, breaking stuff. Petrus Farms remembers. I still have that scene, I think. This is going to be a real pain to fix. Awesome. Well, I don't like that at all. Actually, you know what? These are not the sharpest parts. I think I might reprint these. There's on the tensioner, it just so happens. So on the tensioner part, like where the belt teeth where it holds the belt in place, that's what the part looks like. I switched the spool of filament in the middle of printing this part. And you can see there's a ridge down it. I think that's why it didn't hold the belt successfully. So that might be the problem. Yeah, they call it like the filmmaker kit. Road. Awesome, we got BLD Designs super chat $5. Thank you very much. We can always use that for coffee. I'm hoping that Streamlabs reads it for us. Yep, reprint them. Not a true don't break. Don't break is when I'm willing the 3D printing gods, as it were, to not break it for me. Breaking it myself is pretty usual. I guess we could just go ahead and print them, huh? When printing flex on this one, it's sometimes there's leavings.
For a coffee.
There it is. Thank you again for the 5. This one's got kind of a lump in the bed. There isn't like anything under here, is there? Oh, there is. There's a piece of filament under there. Good call. Looks like there's nothing on the bed. What's going on here? Much nicer now. All right. Let's get this started. Then maybe grab some coffee. Not the braised beef tortellini, huh? I never go to Olive Garden. I'm not the biggest fan of Italian food. It's okay, but not my fave. My default food of all time is definitely tacos. I can eat tacos every day. Okay. Huh. Let's hope Prusa Slicer doesn't crash the. See you later, Sergio. Thanks for coming, man. I'm eating burritos right now. Now, to find the part, it should be listed in the PDF. Yeah, yeah. 12 is 1605. 1605. There we go. Nope, that's not 1605. It is, what's the vertical one? It's 16 something. Let's just pull in. There's only like 5/16, so let's just pull them all in. Yes, that's the one I'm using right now. That's the one I use for everything, is that road filmmaker set thing. Uh-huh. Okay. $12.35. How many friends are on the stream today? I haven't even looked at the stats or anything. Probably nobody, since our co-host isn't here. 52, that's pretty good for no co-host, right? Old Chris still got it. All right. Patreon line Steve. Hey, Philippe. Felipe. Anytime you want. I don't get a lot of requests. Our Patreon count is very, very low. But I will gear up one anytime you feel like it. So I can get one scheduled. I'll see what we can do. All right. I'm going to reprint our parts. TJL, hello. I did hear that. I heard some rumblings that they're working on multiple nozzles in the same print. That's going to be really interesting. Kind of hard to calculate because those nozzles do not act the same way. So what do you say we take a quick break while that print starts, grab some coffee, maybe grab my sandwich, and we'll hang out while it runs, and we'll figure out what we're going to do next on our build. Maybe I still have the old school coffee break thing. I don't have the one where it said, like, where it had actually coffee on it. I do have this one. So we'll do that. See you later, John. Thanks for coming. So let's take like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm just going to grab some coffee, and I'll be right back. Oh, absolutely. If you, we can definitely do a chameleon stream. I'll ping you. I'll send you a note, and we'll set something up. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Orange juice is doing its thing. How long does it say it's gonna do? It's like 45 minutes. So, eh, we could sit here and have some sandwich. It's an Italian sandwich. Mmm. So I've got the build plate down here. I'd at least like to um get the steel balls bolted down to it and, like, I don't know, kind of set it down there ish to see what it's going to be like, or at least get those on there. I guess I could go ahead and put on the heater. I really hate sticking down those silicone pads. I don't know, it's just annoying to me, but we got to get that done. And then I guess everything after that is XYU gantry rails and all of that. I don't know. Well, I'm not a fan of red sauce, I guess, is like is what I don't like about Italian food. And or white sauce. I like pasta. But in all fairness, every sandwich is just like lunch meat. So, but it was a timely comment, that's for sure. Now you're seeing what I spend a lot of days doing. Salami is great. I get some food and some coffee. I sit here. I look around at stuff. Think about things. Think about all the things I need to clean up. I've been working with NeoPixels. Um, I've never really done a lot with like individual addressing with them. It's kind of fun. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it, but I got some the other day in like a kit. And I was like, hey, that would be fun to kind of mess with. So I did that for a little bit last week. Spicy sub without lettuce. That sounds pretty good. Charcuterie, I believe that is right. Doesn't that like have prosciutto and salami and stuff on it, I think? This is a tasty sandwich, though. Nice work, grocery store sandwich guy. Honestly, though, I'm a little intimidated by the gantries on this thing. The extruders would probably actually be harder, but I haven't looked at them as much. But that dual front back belt to power both those heads, I don't know. That's going to be quite a bit to build. But as with everything, one step at a time. We'll figure it out one way or another. No, we've done a lot of bed droppers over the years. I don't even know what my first one would have been, but the most recent one was the Trident build we did the end of last year, and then we've done several, like, rail core and the tank, second tank was they're all bed droppers, so we've had a few. Um, Probably flying gantry is the one I've had the least amount of experience with, but I do have a couple. The plate is actually 300, 400, but because of the heads, you can only use like 310 by 300 because they're floating there all the time. So it's good size, but it does take a lot of room to use that second head. Yeah, I ended up selling my rail core. I never used it. And I actually met a guy at Earth, and he's like, how's the rail core? And I was like, man, I just never use it anymore. And he was like, well, I'll ask on the Discord if somebody wants to buy it. And I'm like, okay. And sure enough, somebody got a hold of me and came and picked it up. Hopefully, it's working good for them. It's a nice machine. I just never used it much. Had another duet failure. That's not very common. Oh, that printer is definitely warming it up in here. I think we should cool it off a bit in here. I have all the power in my hand. YOUDEX failure. Maurice, 10 months. Thank you very much. I did wipe that off, but it kind of looks like it's curling. This thing never messes up. It'll only mess up when there's a stream. Nah, it's fine. It just looks funny. See you there, Shane. I should probably do the same thing, actually. I've been down here for a while. Glenn Hogue. What's up, Glenn? Nice. I still haven't messed with Duet 3. I've done a lot with the firmware, RepRap 3, but I don't have a 3 board. I'm all alone today, yes. My co-host is out working at her actual job today, hanging out with the kids. I don't know, Andrew. I've heard mixed results about that SVO8. Some people like it. Some people have had a really hard time with it. The Mark IV is definitely a solid machine, but it costs some money. But man, it'll crank out some parts, that's for sure. Ah, yeah, using that balsa tool can kind of be a pain if you have to. Gantry wasn't square. That's no good. Lewis, comfortable troubleshooting and rebuilding a V2. Which V2 are you referring to? I mean, I'll give anything a try, but are you talking about a rail core? Huh, that part totally come unstuck. I swear to you, this would have never, ever happened if I wasn't live streaming. What do you get? In fact, that's the first part that I've had come unstuck in a long time. We just weren't meant to get it done today. Yes. Um, if you could build a 2.4, then SV08 should be no problem. That 2.4 is a pretty serious build. Hey Tony, no, this is the Muldex. It's a community build by John Mulac. It is an IDEX machine. So 350, 400, 400, 2 extruder heads. And it's taken us a while to build it. Hairspray. Haven't done hairspray in a long time, that's for sure. All right, what do we want to do here? I want to wait for that to cool down. I'll clean it again. But that's definitely what it's going to take to tension those belts. I guess I might as well just pull those idlers back off, because there's no way I'm going to get it done without pulling them. So we can do that, getting ready for the parts. I guess I'm not going to get my panel on today like I wanted to. Yeah, the electronics and the firmware are always the fun part. That's the part I actually enjoy the most, I think, when you actually start seeing things move around. We'll do all that good stuff in time, I'm sure. And I think there's a rough build out there. At least we can start someplace, but, you know, there'll be lots of tweaking and stuff we want to do. There's going to be a lot of cool macros and stuff being IDEX. You know, you're going to want to do certain things with the heads and all that good stuff, so. A bit more advanced configuration, I would say. Long, very long build. I'm not even sure where we're going to go from here after I get Z done. I'll have to take a look at the diagram real quick and see what seemed logical. Come on, Bolt, you can do it. There we go. Fingers are too fat to grab the bolt. There we go. Phew, that was way harder than it should have been. Okay. I do like to watch stuff move around. Come on. So on the build plate, M4x12 is what they used to hold that on. Oh, it's countersunk. But the plate isn't countersunk. How does the... I don't think those... I think the... In fact, I know it. I'm not even going to look. They don't have to be countersunk. Because the magnetic sheet isn't that big. I think these are... It's the same on both sides. Yes, it is. What is that for? Like, there's probably like a... Yeah, there's strain relief on the bottom. So we're going to say this is the bottom. Now I'm just kind of waiting for to reset that printer. We'll just do a handful of things, like putting these steel balls on. One piece at a time. I have considered, it might be kind of tricky with Duet. I have considered switching over to CAN bus. Because, I mean, we could wire it. He has like a dummy board that he uses to wire the tool heads to, and then runs a long run to the board, which is fine. But I thought maybe we just go ahead and start with CAN. So we have to run a lot less wires. So we might do that instead. Big Tree Tech has some pretty nice small tool boards. I had one around here somewhere. But they have some pretty nice smaller ones that we might be able to integrate easier than running all those wires. I really hate, I mean, you're going to have to crimp all the ends no matter what, but I don't know. Do it once, I guess. CAN would simplify things on the other end. Why not USB? Well, I mean, USB would work fine for Clipper, but we wouldn't be able to do it on RepRap pretty sure. Rep, like Duet 3 we could, I think. But if we're going with the Duet 2, in fact, does Duet 2 even support CAN, now that I'm thinking out loud? That's a good question. I don't know. Rat-Rig OS, yeah. External stepper support, the external stepper driver support, signal levels expansion, breakout board available. That's for DueX, not supported via CAN. Which one is this? That's Duet 3. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more. It was just a thought. I'm gonna have to do some more looking around for that, because I'm not sure that it does support it now that I think about it. So many choices, so little time. Support on Duet 3. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. So we might be out of luck for CAN bus on the initial build. But ah well. Okay. Hopefully we're good this time. I think that's about it for today. We need some more parts. I'll finish up Z. I'll get that on there. Next time, I think we're just going to have to go for XY. Let's take a look real quick so I know where we're going here. Yeah. Let's take a look at this together, shall we? So this is kind of a look at what we are getting ready to jump into. So those end pieces there, we already built. Yeah, maybe. We already built those, maybe. I don't remember. Whatever. So we have those are two sections of printed parts. You have to screw them down to that cart before you can put that top section on that has the idlers. So we'll have to do that. So that's kind of probably where we'll start. There is this 2020 that kind of everything bolts onto. And then you have this 9 rail. I believe that's a 9. 3, 6. Yeah. You have this 9 rail that the carts or the tool bodies slide on. I guess that has 2 carts. I didn't even pay attention when we got it out of there. And hopefully it has 2 carts. So this is what we have to build next. And then pretty straightforward, honestly. I mean, it bolts underneath that top extrusion. Shouldn't be super difficult. These are wipers. He kind of built like custom. It's just a piece of metal that's been bent, but I think he's got silicone on it, like just some flat pieces of silicone strip. They're kind of sandwiched in there. So when you park it, that keeps the nozzle from dripping when it's parked. You can kind of see it here. So that part I really haven't thought about yet. I'm not sure what kind of metal we're going to need to build something like that, but that will probably be later down the road. It's not a must-have, but it's almost a must-have, right? And then 16, what do they got there? Those are the trigger switches. Okay, those are the flags. So each one of these has an end stop on it, an optical end stop that tells it when it's parked. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, it could reuse that might be the way to go. At least then I could buy some ready-made ones. If we could get them working just right. I think that's probably a good idea, actually. All right. How soon are we to starting this print? Is it going? Oh, it's gonna start here in just a second. As soon as it gets done started, then we'll be out of here for today. It's gonna be a long build. If we could get even the rails and the cross member built next time, I think we'd be doing pretty good. Because I think I have like most of the parts, maybe not the wiper arms. You might still have to print the wiper arms. We'll see. Yeah, I think I do have some. I'll have to see. I'll see what we can do to maybe bend some of those. Because they're just, on the Excel, it's just a flat bar. But if we could put just like a little tiny bend in it, that'd probably make... Well, I mean, I could always rework the printed part, right? So that's an option. All right, what happened this last time here? Maybe it's just a little too high. Let's crank it down a little bit and see if that fixes it. Okay. All right. So I think we're done for today. Thanks for everybody that hung out. Appreciate it. Even though the co-host wasn't here to entertain you, hopefully we got some building done. We know what not to do next time. Thanks for all the super chats, all the support. It's always appreciated. Thanks for some of the mods coming in and stepping in when we lost some mods today. So that's always a big help. The Patreon stream, I'll line something up. I'll talk to a few of you on the side, and we can talk about chameleon stuff or whatever. Maybe we'll get Bill involved. So we'll line something up for sure. But I think that's about it for today. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend. It's gonna be pretty nice here. Hopefully it's nice where you are. Get out and enjoy some weather in the northern hemisphere before it gets crazy outside. We got a couple weeks left. So that's it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks. The co-host will be here next time. She has promised. So she'll see you soon. So take care.